Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As Gore finishes up some more wings here, can the guy, give it a break? Making me jealous every time I'm in this booth. Rain Day and Pretty Air here to take you through NA, starting out with the minor league for the last week here. It's going to be Hype Unit and Zenith running through, Nick. And Hype Unit obviously recently sponsored, was Nation of Power, but will they be able to bring the hype here today?
Hopefully. They're the unit for it at this point. And you have to be, right? This is the second place squad. This is one of the locked-in teams for the MSI. That rebrand sort of makes sense getting picked up. You know, there's some proven hype around them. They're guaranteed to make some prize money here, making it all the way to the MSI. 9-2, 9-2. 20 and 16, so you can see the map difference is very closer than they are in Europe, that's for sure, between Sanguine and Hype Unit.
But unfortunately, nothing can be done even. Nothing can be done, unfortunately.
Got to win your
assuming that they can even drop a map and then stay tied, win 3-1 on the side of Sanguine. So we'll see. It's just unlikely. We didn't see that change much yesterday when we were looking at that for the console league. We had an opportunity, but Heating Up obviously handled business there. Let's go ahead and start getting into this because, Nick, I think when you talk about both of these teams, there's a few different dynamics at play. And speaking of play, Playtech coming in for Zenith, the ability for him to incorporate into the squad, what does that mean?
It's been a lot. It's been tough for them at times. I think Playtech has been good on his more niche champion pools. You can see the Victor here. You can see Shaolin has been a big part. But he's sort of come back in, Shaolin that is. Started to have more impact across a wide variety of rosters. So I'm not so worried about that champion pool respect, but it's more of what else has had to happen to make room for him. I think Ozone switching onto frontline once again, having to get practice in that. And again, these are all changes that are more forward-facing, forward-looking for the next phase of competition, which is why I don't necessarily have a lot of faith that today is the day for the upset that's going to change the standings.
Sure. Well, it doesn't seem like there's too much that Zenith have to worry about as far as the repercussions of winning or losing. It's just more about showing up, and maybe that eases things up. Maybe it gives them a little bit of relaxation heading into this set,
I think that's a good point.
Could be impactful. Taking a look as well as Hype Unit, they've got a guy named Tay, and he's been a very influential front line. He also rhymes with his kind of partner in crime there, Jay. And so those two, especially Tay, able to really provide a solid foundation for these guys coming through. And his Atlas, his con, I mean, they've been very impressive.
And it's one of the most important roles, if not the most important role just right now in the meta. These are the picks that are getting banned out. These are the picks and the guys you need to have very deep champion pools because it could be a rotating door, right? It could be Con Atlas all day. You could see, Ashe start to get banned out. You could start to see all types of things that these guys play getting banned out. So you have to be not only confident on these characters, but be able to play all of them.
Well, Serpent Beach going to be map 1. Bazaar banned out, so we won't see that new one. Yeah. And unfortunate there. Timber Mill and Ice Mine still available for kind of the wonkier maps on this one as well. I believe Shattered Desert, but here we go. We'll get a look at Torval getting banned here first. And we saw Makoa go through earlier on in Europe. That did not work out well for All Business.
And they will both take a seat now. No funny business so far from either of these squads, and this is the week you might see funny business, and that's why we saw some more niche comps, but because game 1 was pretty close, I wasn't ready to say, all right, these are just white flag comps that they're just goofing around on. They still definitely had their merits, but weren't able to quite leverage them. This is why we talked about Tate.
Yeah.
So many of what he would have been playing. I wouldn't necessarily throw Torvald into that mix because he's just so banned out all the time. But that's 4 frontline bans. So you have to be able to have a very deep champion pool at this point if you're a frontline player.
Yeah, it does seem like they're definitely kind of challenging that. And we've seen different ways of going about it. Zenith, you're going to take 2 stable front lines, 2 point tanks, so to speak. Hype Unit prioritizing the Ashe first. I think really just thinking she's the only one left that really fills that role as consistently as the others.
I think you look at this and you just look at what NIP did. You can build their comp right now. You can build that exact comp. You can get that Genos, you get that Ashe, and you get a couple other DPS that can just turn up and push into Zenith, right? You can't be you got to be fearless with this style of comp, which is why it might be something that they're not feeling comfortable about running. They might just go for the Fernando and sort of even off, level off. Ruckus has been so overlooked for so long. Yeah, it's Ruckus. Nothing really changed. It's just he's not in right now. He's not in it. Cassie's super strong. That could have something to do with it, but he's just a frontliner that's easy to hit.
And we'll see if that changes. Probably not, but the pressure might adjust here with now some aerial threats. No hit scan as well. Maybe that's what the Leon was about, having a strong sense that they did want to put Stigma or Poison, most likely Poison, I believe, on that Drogos here as Fernando gets locked in to kind of secure it all. We've seen a little bit more of him today.
Yeah, definitely.
Are made
He's
by
a
the
character.
paths they
And
choose.
again, we talked about the
Not
more
the
niche
powers
champion
they were graced
pool,
with.
the Shaolins, the Victors. It was a Victor on Serpent Beach, so you know you gotta kind of smoke them if you got them. Do what you feel good about here for Team Zenith, for Playtech specifically, who, while having that more niche champion pool, can definitely do great things with it.
Absolutely. Big time stuff here heading into Serpent Beach. We've got great teams. We've got Hype Unit rebranded, ready to go. And this will be a good look at if they can stay the course, which I'm pretty confident they can. Some great players here. William355. Looks like he's subbing in for Jay today. Jay may have tried to take a vacation or something before actually heading out to LAN. Get a little R&R before handling some business.
There you go, and everything pretty much standard here. Big game Cassie, burst mode Victor, no cardio, funny business this time around. The dopest skin in all of the land. Still think
really
I like
is.
the Abyssal Lord Drogos a little bit better.
Oh, man, I think this one wins for me.
I love the sounds of this one.
Yeah, and I think it's a little clearer. I mean, the Abyssal Lord is amazing. It's kind of cluttery as far as that fire spit. Right there, no clutter about it. Gets a good kill. Stigma finds first blood.
It's going to be a potent 1-2 punch here. This Drogos Leon double backline, really for both squads. No flank pressure from either side here. Just losing the one team member is enough to push Team Zenith all the way back into this corner. Pretty close on the objective for now.
Yeah.
But this lead starting to grow bigger and bigger as Hype Unit pull off.
Man, it's just basically you almost get Fusillade and Wormjets at the same time. Two of the more consistently viable talents over the history of Paladins. And thanks to that Luminary mark, Poison's making quick work of everybody here.
That was awesome. I mean, big fire spit there. But maybe it's just the sound effects again. The sound effects of the skin
Meaty.
are super clean. And the fire spit just sounds awesome there. Very early Dragon Punch. You can see
Good chase.
a lot of people not necessarily super close.
Wow.
Playtech's the only one with the ultimate available. No ultimates are spent. The payload quietly goes in favor of Hype Unit.
Oh, good angles. Actually kind of favors, I think, Toa a little more because there's a really specific angle Poison has to hold, and he's got to do it in the air. Toa taking the challenge. It's a tough one because now forced to roll out. Gets a good heal from Damba, but that's a heal that doesn't go to Playtech and doesn't go to Mage Monkey on the Inara. The Gourd goes that way, but it's still Hype Unit carrying momentum. No one's been able to deal with the Dragon in the skies.
There it is. A deep fear will come through. It results in at least one kill there on the Stigma. Toa retaking high ground. Kind of balancing on a knife's edge, to be honest. One kill. And everybody's just calling for clean disengages after that. And that essentially ends the fight in favor of whoever got the one pick. Stigma on his way back. Playtech takes a knee. Assesses the situation, likes what he sees.
Tough angle, especially with burst mode, because you're just not able to get that consistent firing down onto the Drogos. And he's only got a few windows where he lets himself be available to be shot. And burst mode can't quite get it done. 977 on those direct hits, making a big impact to say the least, both figuratively and literally. Can he go through the obstacle course there? He makes it through, gets the kill, but his life is traded in the process.
Yeah, and there's still another front line to sort of fall on that grenade. Pops the DR, starts walking at people. Mage Monkey looking for the flank here on a Stigma, but is dissuaded before he can make the full complete rotation and allow Stigma to keep firing. That might have been a mistake.
That's big damage as well. Mage Monkey, once that damage reduction from Earthen Guard falls away, he is in trouble, so he's backed fully off. But this is just the exact angle that Stigma wants to hold. High ground in all senses of the word. And Hype Unit take a 2-0 lead.
You know, we actually see something there right down the end of the stretch from Stigma that really echoes well what Akate was saying about what Leon is nowadays. You know, before, you just pop him off. Every time it's up, smoke it.
Yeah.
But now you kind of, you could see him also thinking about, is this the one that I want for this fight? A little bit more patient, even go so far as to just kind of reload before flowing through the rest of that fight with cooldowns. 4-1, 4-1, 1-0, 3-1. Very dominant first round here for Hype Unit. but not, it didn't feel quite so explosive. It was like I said, you get the one pick, someone's disengaging. Another pick this way, clean disengage. Not a very bloody round, but sort of clean and collected here for Hype Unit.
I mean, about as clinical of a Drogo's round you can have on Serpent Beach. And benefiting from the lack of, I think, pressure that Playtech has been able to put on him. T-Mac with an early through time in space. That's going to clean Playtech up.
From, too.
My goodness gracious.
He was over at Sundial.
Wow. So a different angle and probably caught them by surprise.
To imagine, yeah. It's a more horizontal angle rather than straight up and down. Well, Mortal's going to deter any follow-up there, and it's kind of quiet there from the onset.
Barrage from a different angle as well. William 355 didn't burn the shield yet. Big time. Formidable gets him back healthy. He's also got T-Mac there healing him up. And look at that. Playtech is in trouble. Where's Drogos? They don't quite know. William 355 goes for it. Loses out.
Ballsy.
Yeah. Goes away.
That's how you have to play Victor sometimes. You're not getting out of it. You got to just ADS like a big boy and trying to do as much as you can before you get taken down. Do a good enough job, and look at that. You're not even taken down.
Yeah, we did talk about him as one of the main factors here. Dragon Punch coming through, and they know at Bikini touch point, he's at least going to back off the Inara, and that's all you need to do, and it's going to open them up at least a chance. Toa, Nini, big pickups, though, onto the Drogos.
That's a lot of the killing power down off the board. Now William dead as
Watch
well.
Out. Huge ult.
Up, down. It's buying some time here, but we need kills, and we need him now. There's one.
Yeah, it was a huge ult. Sigma able to utilize that and just get some pressure back. Sigma with 2. Looking for a 3rd here. You know it. Toa's low. Hype Unit, grab it. 3 points. That assert dominance bought all the time and space for Sigma to do his thing. Great stuff.
That was an awesome baton handoff there. Well done, Hype Unit, to stay cool under the pressure. The one thing that almost like got it to that point, though, was like that Dragon Punch was very just like, I am coming straight at you, and this is what's happening, and we'll see what you do about it. And he doesn't take a lot of poke. Nobody really goes for the kill there. He stays alive for a little while longer. Didn't connect with anyone on the Dragon Punch, so there's that. But yeah, that was almost, you know, bought the zone, and Dragon Punch can be that tool, but I was very surprised it wasn't as punished as I thought it could have been.
I mean, the call, I think, was just that to win this point, we have to stand on the point. We're 93, 96. And then also the Dragon Punch coming through meant that, all right, I may gamble and be wrong and he kills me, and we don't get the 100, so let's just back off and be safe. But you got to also count out the through time and space that started the round. A lot of things went the way of Hype Unit. It's hard to win those fast cap fights against a decent team, but you have to sometimes eke it out like they did.
Well, another Dragon Punch is charged and ready to go here. Nobody's really able to contest this angle. Poison playing these angles very, very nicely here.
Nice.
Flying early rocket. And, you know, matchups be damned. You get that opening 1,000 damage rocket. It is what it is for Cassie.
Yeah, not much she can do about it. And I think really you're looking at the way he's playing Drogos, which is I think the greatest accomplishment of a good Drogos player. Dragon Punch is almost secondary. You don't really need it. It just kind of helps to create pressure. And it's better oftentimes to just miss and stay alive because you charge it up so quickly and you're so deadly when you do hit your rockets.
Playtech trades out one fairly early on there. Ash is respawned, riding back to this fight, though. Big rockets connecting for Poison, gets under the blitz. Nice fire spit to make sure he maintains this pressure onto Barrack. He's playing these angles so nicely.
Yeah, he's real. I mean, great shots by Toa. That was not an easy shot, but and he picks the right time, which is true. And he's going to help with William, but the shield goes up. Maybe takes his eye off the ball for a second there, and now he gets the big game shot, but he misses that one. Has to reload. I feel like that's just a little bit undermanaged there. Or mismanaged. Stigma with an enlightenment right back at him. Tay finds 3 in the fight. Oh man, the Ash coming through big.
This could be it, especially with Poison here. The Dome Shield is dropped. Dragon Punch is extremely close to being charged. Time and space forces Damba back into base.
And now Ash, Tay, they're trying to hold down this right side, and they are doing a good job of forcing people back. Quick rotation onto Toa. 1 shot, 2 shots, 1 dead, Dragon 1 more. Mage Monkey trying to stand up, but he's gonna fall. The Dragon takes him out. This should be done and dusted.
Oh, the Victor's going to get in there, jump on the grenade. Hype Unit, very, very well executed on, but Gotta say, Zenith definitely didn't roll over there in game number 1. That was a nice fight.
They did not. They actually put up a decent counter effort, even though they really didn't have their lineup, I think, contribute the way they wanted to against Drogos. Rarely was Playtech really kind of taking fights against Poison. It was often Toa who found himself in that situation, when you would think it'd be reversed, right? Where Cassie may be prioritizing some of those big bodies, and Toa can really deal with that threat in the sky being hit scan.
Tough to deal with a Drogos who knows his angles. It's still it's kind of a niche pick, I'll be honest. You don't really see a ton of Drogos this season.
No.
And Wormjets was changed this season, so this character became a completely different beast in these past couple of months.
Really
Poison
good.
has done his homework. He knows the angles, he knows the spots, and Serpent Beach is definitely one where if you know all the little secret nooks and crannies, those holes in the roof, stuff like that,
Oh, yeah.
you can absolutely use a tier advantage.
And the way that Poison plays this Drogo, 6 and 5 is very, I mean, his slash line is very misleading if you just look at it like that, because his impact was so huge, and you can see it watching him. Some of these rockets put people into positions they didn't want to be in. You know, pressure's coming back, but a rocket sends somebody back into a defensive standpoint. This is really the play that clutched it up, and catching him on the stun, got rid of the hit scan again, and opened things up for the team. Great job by Tay. Good decision-making as well.
Definitely. And then Cassie respawns now, goes wide left here, and he makes sure to keep pressure on her. Shoulder bashing over here once he kind of makes that rotation over.
Good call.
Cassie's a problem, right? You let her free fire. We saw Toa hitting some good shots. He's going to make life hell for you. Dragon Punch gets recharged. There's no one to punish it. Like I said, it's not really a show-stopping play from any one person on Hype Unit. It's really this kind of this almost rally race where you got to pass the baton a couple of times. Everybody has to perform their role and get a good team fight at the end of the result.
Stone Keep here, map 2. So far, a 4-0, although there was a good team fight in there somewhere from Zenith. So Hype Unit have to be careful. They can't just relax, so to speak. But Zenith's showing up to play. Makoa will be banned, and they'll look to most likely, if they continue with what happened, ban these major off-tanks. And you know, Zenith now compromised again. Do we let them have Atlas and try to do Genos something, Genos Barrack? They're just going to say no, take that off the table. You can get Genos if you want, but we'll get our choice of tanks.
I can get us out of here
So far,
alive.
everything's
Stay
going to
close
stay the
and
same
follow
here.
my
Zenith
lead.
can change things up a little bit. You never really got to see the lack of high ground control from Zenith. That would have been something that was very apparent had they ever gone on the offense, but they were on the defensive foot, so you know they have access to all those staircases and ramps and things like that coming out of spawn, so it was never really a problem.
Right.
All of that stuff
In this
isn't really
game,
something
you
you need
win
to worry
or you
about here, so they
die.
could run
There
back
is no
a
middle
fairly
ground.
similar composition if they desire.
Yeah, it does seem like they got the opportunity to do so. You know, it's just a matter of what does Zenith bring to the table now to combat this? Don't keep a little different. Drogos combustible sometimes works a little better here, but also I think Wormjet's very, very strong pick if you aren't countered so heavily.
gods are watching.
And Tyra, I think,
Our
is going to be
blood is
nice. Not only
rushing,
will the
and the
vision from the
hunt
Hunter's Mark help to keep
is
track
on.
of where he is, but when you do get the moment, it'll make it a lot more meaningful if he is marked up.
And I mean, Damba and
I
Nara
will
here
bring an end
seems
to the
fine. They're going to grab
darkness.
Furia.
She's risen a bit,
When
too.
I'm looking at it, when I'm looking at Genos Barrack, Fernando,
You
Tyra,
trespass and are
I'm wondering
unwanted,
what's
stranger.
really the win condition here. You've got your double damage amp, but it's almost like for what? And that's really what we got to see be revealed
Don't
here.
worry, subjects.
Oh, wow.
After a few good
I think
matches,
it's not a
you'll
bad
all see
pick.
it
Again, the
my
Cassie
way.
does a little better against the Drogos in the clutch moments where, we missed, the hit scan's dead, how do we hit that? Bomb King would be a little bit more of a stretch to really find bombs and challenge Poison.
My thing is like, yes, that back line is can be very successful, but I think Barrack and Fernando are just getting pushed around in this situation. I don't think they're going to be able to get either Bomb King or Tyra in the position to be successful.
Very, very shield reliant too, and that's going to scale pretty difficult in a pretty difficult manner. And Fury is something that maybe to consider on the side of Zenith, maybe in a different priority level, because Fury is getting taken less and less. But I think with the Cherish buff, with Inflame starting to work around that more, we may see more value there as people realize that there's a lot that she is bringing to the table, as she is the messenger, the champion of the pyre, so to speak. T-Mac will be running that one, and William again having his hand at the Inara. Good game from him as well in the sub role for today.
The double shielding is definitely something to harp on again, because as Drogos, you don't really love picking up Cauterize if you don't have to, and You love picking up record.
You do.
Two very big, slow, and in Barrick's case, stationary shields just to be able to blow those up very effectively. Shots coming through from Stigma, trying to get some dismounts. Won't really find much with it. And map control is going to go the way of Team Zenith.
Oh, wow, that's a big bomb. Toa kind of just, you know, hitting the half-court three-pointer there because that was not in the game plan, and that you can't really count on that as a part of your strategy, but it does at least delay some of this. What can they do off of it? It's going to send Ninny into the back line. He's got a little bit of access, and First Blood will go the way of Poison despite all of that. Good Poppy Bomb, but it sends him still to a pretty defensible position.
Hype unit take their time. There's really no line of sights to punish this Drogos once he gets up above these doorways. He's just kind of teeing off on Barrick on the objective here. Has a nice line of sight behind Fernando as well. A couple more rockets would do the trick. But distance is made.
To me, that's a bit of a, maybe is that a comm issue? It felt like stepping out, Toa had no idea where anyone was. Trying to find them when you first step out doesn't really make sense here for me in this fight. Maybe just a lot going on, different calls being made. Here's those shields kind of getting broken. Nando, he's gonna fall. Stigma not really been pressured out today as well.
Wow, that's an early enlightenment. It's gonna come ripping through. T-Mac stays alive, gets the killing blow.
Wow, he must have done a ton of damage.
Onto Playtech and 93%. Means that it is going to be an early hype unit payload. Here's the final resting damage numbers after the first fight.
And he is leading quite significantly by about 15K ahead of the other top two damage dealers. A little bit of a heal from Cherish. That buff is just range-wise, still heals the same, but a little bit farther. And, you know, sometimes it just takes a little bit of, hey, Cherish is, you know, Fury got buff, let's play her some more, to really bring a character into fruition, even though it, you know, may not be as impactful as I think.
Poison gets the fadeaway kill on the Toa. And yes, Tyra is hit scan, but she's kind of like mid-range-ish. That's a good fire strike. Almost caught Fernando there. There's nobody to, you know, he can stand here with his shield up. There's nobody to back him up at the time being. 140 on the clock. Bombs rattling home for William. Trying to stay alive, puts his hands up. Defensive cooldowns are burned.
Grumpy Bomb on the point as well. Poison is low, and they know it. Trying to rotate, but they've got the shield and they've got the heal. This is bad news,
Nice
Bears,
bomb.
and you know Toa's been doing that a couple of times. He definitely deserved it, and really good stun though as well. And then he's in a bad spot here, trying to get body blocked. And watch out for the Fury of Pyre Strike. You could actually stun that shield. They're going to Dome Shield as well. She does stun both, but they are in the Dome Shield, so they'll back off without taking much. T-Mac though, good play.
Seismic Crash. Not even sure where that hit.
Oh,
Here's
there it
the
is.
Flame. They're going to hit the gas pedal and go. William likes what he sees. No shield up for Fernando. It's an easy kill.
What do you got? He's hitting for 300, I think, each stone pellet. So about
Pretty
900 damage for Inara. That's pretty impressive. Almost like a Drogos right there.
Yeah.
The new Drogos. A little taller, a little more grounded, but still just as effective.
And that's a good call there. I mean, they come through. Assert Dominance is met with a Dome Shield, is met with a Seismic Crash, and like
Shield cooldown.
It's almost like that wasn't. I don't know if that was Williams' call or who was. You know, Fury is pretty disengaged from that fight. She doesn't have a lot of that information, so that's why I feel like it's William. He knows that shield's down.
Right.
He knows that he's right there on that Fernando, and it's almost like he's the one calling for that. And it ends up working out very nicely for them to the tune of 3-0-4, 3-0-3 for Stigma. Day goes deathless as well. This is a great round again. Very clean and just well put together.
You know, Nick, there's a reason in fighting games that counterattacks do more damage than normal attacks. It's because they can be more effective when people aren't expecting to get hit when you hit them. And it's just a very simple concept that a lot of people don't take. I mean, when you expect an ult, you're ready. You're kind of already preparing for it, what to do. And I think you're right. It just catches them at a little bit of a rhythm that they were kind of expecting to have some more rest.
Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Exactly. And nice little Immortal coming through.
Sure
He just turns straight out. He says, I want none of this.
Homer Simpson.
He's going to take 42% of his ult back. Fernando will save some lives, but have 0% and work that back up.
He's just barely able to eke himself out. Look at everyone is so low here. These kills have to happen. You cannot let this many people escape. Toa wants to push this.
Look at this.
But the corridor is covered by the rocket launcher. Just ekes out enough for Stigma to find the killing blow.
Man, might as well have killed him.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, and you can see how execution heavy this Bomb King is. I mean, yes, realistically, you could kill the Drogos faster than he could kill you. But unfortunately, you have to hit some shots that are almost impossible to count on. And I mean, Toa's hit 50% of those, so I appreciate that.
He's shooting well from half court at the moment. Mage Monkey rotates in, gets a kill on both backliners. Leon and Drogos die to his hand. Team Zenith, comeback mechanic, sneak it away.
What? Was it just a lack of awareness? Did Inara get stunned? How did that happen? Because the Inflame is popped about 3 seconds before they truly capture, and I feel like they're close enough, especially with that 30% move speed, to touch and contest. Not sure. But
yeah, it's an early lead grabbed by Barrack with comeback mechanic and then just a small it's very easy to misstep, especially when you get in the mix of like you contest a couple of ticks and you let a couple of ticks go through and you know how long it's going to take with the comeback mechanic without any type of contest. But when you start kind of throwing overtime resets in there, contesting, that type of stuff can make it easy to misstep on.
Now they know he just used the ult. They know he just dashed in. I mean, this is so much value from that shield. And sometimes it's better to just stay on one side and have another player stay on the other. That way she's getting hit either way she goes. But Playtech finally getting some action there, uses the crossfire. And Toa looking for some blood here.
You know he loves that bomb king.
He does.
Storied character player combination here. A lot of early poke coming from this Drogos. Good shots here, and this is what we're talking about. I don't know. It's slightly easier for this Drogos to hit this rocket than it is for this bomb to come down to this Drogos. Both these guys, as you can see, just very good at their champion. Is what's helping them be consistent.
And here you go. Again, I'm not a... Yeah, wow, maybe just...
Come on, bro.
I think he wanted to bait out the Immortal. He's really close to understanding that it should be there. It was only 9% away. I think you wait on that just a second and you're fine. But I have a feeling that's what he was trying to do.
Surprise salvo here from the top rope. Gets good value. I think that's Tay that goes bounding in there to try and grab that kill, but some good healing from beyond the lines of sight. Thank you very much.
He got his ult back.
There it is. It's very quick to come back. And that's why you love to see those Immortal for Dragon Punch trades. He's happy to take that any day of the week.
I mean, it's just working out so nicely. He's going to probably pull one out soon. I think he's got to get under safe cover, though. And also, he's got to have a position where he's not just easily able to two-tap everyone in here. And so far, he is. So he's going to peek his head in, finds out there's someone looking to hunt, but he gets the two-tap anyway. And now there is no need to Dragon Punch.
Poison, I mean, very, very solid stuff from the Drogos in all of these rounds. Curious to see how this double shielding composition holds up later on. I think Fernando's shield has been pretty good for them to fall back on. Obviously, Barrack, all of his shielding. Really how he keeps himself alive with these bowling ball style loadouts. As these later game items start to come online, we'll take a peek at them here. This could be the end of the round, or the end of the game rather, for Hype Unit. They do get their Rekka 3s online. Cauterize is not really online for them yet, though.
It's interesting.
As you can see the front lines get to the Cauterize 2 mark and then start to kind of go into other things.
Well, when you really think about it, I mean, so much of their survivability is baked into their shields. I mean, Fernando needs that shield to kind of buy time while his Formidable's ticking up. Barrack needs the bowling ball resets to really just give that extra bit of, damage mitigation. I feel like...
And it is just Genos.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very interesting style of choice, but I think it will work against this comp, especially with them being so susceptible to it. Love the Pirate Strikes being used more for utility on an offensive side of things from T-Mac. Dragon Punch here, trying to bait some things out, doesn't need to, finds the healer, just like that.
Oh, and Toa gets nothing from the King Bomb as well. Mage Monkey is able to find a nice shot there, but it's a 4-for-1 so far. I mean, Mage Monkey, I don't think he's going to be able to... He's getting pushed by T-Mac right now. T-Mac's in there, getting aggressive, feeling good about his situation.
My thing is, what's the call there? Because you have Dome Shield, you must feel confident to be able to touch back, because you probably could have stabilized. I don't know if they would have pushed you into your Dome Shield with one more Rocket Boots to go. But now, Tay finding Ninny just like that. Off a knockback, they've got to make him pay here. I think they will. Good stuff from Playtech. Plenty of time now. They're back in control.
There it is. Hunter's Mark goes on up 69%.
Gotta kill Stigma here.
As the take-back potential starts to sort of spool, and Stigma does go down here. Comeback mechanic is enabled for Team Zenith. Can they get the door open?
You know, that took a little longer than they would have wanted. Really good beam, and there's the Hunter's Mark. Oh, Fireball almost grabs it as well. They're really trying to get rid of him. Firebomb might have been needed. And there's the dome shield just to buy some more time. They're not scared of it, though, but they should be. Toa with a double. And looking for the triple here, trying to get the trade. Looks like he's going to get it. He will, the triple kill. He can get more. Quadra on the way. Toa gets 4. Can he get all 5 here, Nick, to seal the deal?
Trying to shut it down. Stigma giving him a run for his money. One more.
Got him.
Does it. Nice job, Toa there. Aces. Hype unit. Seismic crash, I have to say. Something to be desired there. That thing completely whiffed. Hits nothing, and it was the only ultimate Hype unit had to slow that roll, that monsoon that was Team Zenith.
And huge pickup there from Toa. And great dismount as well. Ash got to use the ult to get back up from there. And I don't think she wants to do that. In fact, she doesn't even have the choice. This is a ton of momentum. There's just been so much pressure. Again, it looks like the trade may go in favor of Toa, who has started to stop shooting 50% from half court, but 100. Ooh, that was close.
Strike narrowly misses. He's trying to get himself out of this tiny little room. Poison lost track of him there because he did a nice job poppy bonding himself up and over and out of line of sight of the defense. Does get the full disengage here, but for what avail? I mean, ends up going down to Tay and Poison anyway here. 1:30 on the clock. Ultimate's starting to get recharged here. Surprise salvo. Gets good damage out on the Tyra. Almost one-shots her.
But I love that Tyra puts the pressure back onto him with the mark. And it's just pressure. It's just a feeling of pressure. It may not even be actual pressure, but you just feel observed, you know? It's like someone's in your own home when you're trying to walk around in private. And you just feel like, well, this is uncomfortable. I'd rather this not be the feeling I have. And Poison, as a result of that, although not a lot of damage, backs off, gives them some space to start heading back for the retake. Big fire spit here. He waits, but it actually clips the wall, doesn't get Toa, and Toa picks up a huge kill.
You know, that's the way it goes with trophies. You start to kind of drift into fights you're feeling good and committing to, but now both of them dive. Stigma doesn't get that return kill from downtown with the presence. This could have actually been a conversion for Team Zenith.
I mean, it's been looking like that for many moments. And I actually like the way that both teams are playing. I think Stigma's taking a great angle. I think that Poison's doing a good job of firing back and forth, really keeping it even though Toa's having some monster moments. And Toa's really kind of, I think, executing at a higher threshold than a lot of people should expect from a Bomb King right now, really making them pay.
Take one peek at the damage charts, just check back in. You know, Poison feels like he's getting a ton of damage, but silently, Stigma has been able to keep up. That's what's really impressive to me. Both kills trading out back and forth. Stigma ever present, ever consistent from the back line. He just does it quietly.
Yeah.
Oh, and the best skin combo as well. Dusk with the laser blaster. This is exactly what I run as well. I mean,
man.
Ooh, quick third-person pop.
Wow.
Getting a real juicy look at this. God, you love it.
You gotta love it there. And they're just gonna back off. There's essentially 4 members, but none of them healthy and none of them wanting to contest. Toa really kind of sealing the deal with that one. And his quick rotations with the Poppy Bomb, the use of Jolt has really invigorated this lineup. And a little bit of lucky positioning there because there's no other place to go, but it's not really lucky. He anticipates this choke. And he out-duels Stigma there.
Risk reward as well. I mean, if all five people were there, if they had looked at him for a second, he would have just fallen over. But just run away with the fight before they have a chance to bring this one back. Half comeback mechanic enabled for Team Zenith, 3-2 on the scoreboard. Late game itemization starting to come online here, and finally someone has picked up caught 3 on the side of Hype Unit, but it's team match.
Still the only one, though. And it was compared to 4 people on the side of Zenith who have it. Toa here in trouble. Good King Bomb just to get out, but they're going to body block. Even better play, I think. Looks like he's probably dead. Good healing. But yeah, Stigma joins the party with an Inflame. That's going to be just too much for anybody to offer. Good stuff. And they may have just wanted to die quickly.
It's rare that you see all 5 kills in the kill feed when the fight's over. I mean, they don't stay there very long, but you're right, it is a clean loss for Team Zenith, so they do have that going for them, which is a small silver lining, but one nonetheless. They can get their feet back under them. They didn't really use too much in the way of ultimates. King Bomb was expertly diffused by the bomb squad.
Get out of there. You got to get out of there. Oh, Immortal, I was afraid they would do this. Can anyone touch this point, Nick? Is this game over?
It might be.
I'm looking at that and I'm saying you're getting distracted with the Inara, and then you Immortal there, and then that's game over. You know, saving a teammate to end the game.
That was a pretty scenic rotation from the Crossfire as well. I heard it. And then I didn't
She
see
might
it
have
for a
gotten
while.
beat.
It came all the way around kind of there.
Yeah.
Too little, too late. And part of that is that's a 5 for nothing at the onset of that round. That's tough to come back from.
Also with ults used, that didn't get any value. It'd be one thing if you had a king bomb to kind of roll out into and kind of, okay, let's back off a little bit for them. But because he used it to try to outplay the Ashe, and the Ashe outplayed him, it was unfortunate there. But great plays from Tay. We highlighted him a little bit. He shows up big. Stigma, though, I mean, really the silent but deadly kind of role in this one of 120,000 damage.
And that's without double damage amp, right? That's,
right.
You know, Team Zenith with Luminary and Hunting Party trying to keep up and doing so and not really coming close to Stigma and to Poison. They were just able to have such crazy amounts of uptime in these fights. Safe distances. Did he actually hit that?
No way.
Oh, God.
What?
And then the presence.
I mean, that's ridiculous. And this is actually the point fight that they...
This is the 5 for 1.
Okay, this is the one that they won. Wow, that's incredible. Well, you definitely deserve to win the game off of a play like that. At least you deserve to win the point, that's for sure.
Really solid stuff. And so many times he almost got his Enlightenment target stolen, but he clearly learned his lesson there. A lot of people, I noticed a couple of Enlightenments that should have gone his way, and you want to try and let your Leons get those killing blows. Here's the take-back attempt.
Not
from
really.
Team Zenith. Heavy emphasis on the attempt.
Attempt there. Ninny just says yes, and we're staying there. And it's like 87, 90, 93. I think it's just, you know, too many problems. And that's the sign of a good team that you're playing against, that they force you into kind of unwinnable situations. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because, I mean, Ninny just goes there by himself. He probably dies right away, so no point. Hype unit here with a Torvald ban, Zenith, as well with a Makoa ban. This is pretty standard stuff. The thing that's shifting here, though, is that the Khan is going to be available.
It certainly is. Hype unit have, and I mean, they've been taking Ashe. I can't imagine a world where they don't take the Khan.
They like that Ashe.
Really prioritizing their off tank here early on. Zenith will have the opportunity to grab for themselves finally a priority off tank if they want to grab Ashe. Early Damba.
Get us out of here alive.
I think with Furia coming back up, that's less necessary.
Yeah, I feel like it really is a weird pairing. But maybe they want to go for the Yanara as well. And since the Genos is down, there's just a clear kind of maybe comfort level. There's also might be a clear priority level for them. One of the things I've seen a lot of players do and teams do on this back end side of the second pick, Nick, is maybe save some picks for their DPS to maybe see what hype units bring to the table and then be able to maybe counter that.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And either way you want to do it, I definitely think I would still pick Maldamba over Furia. I think the Dread Serpent is solid, right? There is still that that element of Dread Serpent is just confirmable. I think it's really almost like a baseline of value, whereas Time and Space, maybe. Inflame, maybe. It's not on you. You hit the button, and then it's up to everybody else to kind of get out there and do it.
That's true. That's true. It's hard to compare when you have something so stable as Dread Serpent there. The Drogos, though, man, I mean, again and again, 3 games in a row. I love it. I mean, this is like me. I'm just casual queue, boom, pick Drogos. Hopefully our lineup works with it. But I'm gonna be Worm Jets, and Zenith, they're gonna have to deal with it again. Hit scan, maybe
a single breath to take a life.
Okay. I mean, they really win hit scan.
Yeah, I mean, Sniper used to be a big thing on Splitstone Core. It used to be almost a every game type of conversation, but it really just has fallen out of favor. People learn to play against it, and really against it on Splitstone really just means fighting out of line of sight.
And I think the way Stigma plays Leon, at least what we saw on that last map, I mean, good a sniper for me.
That's also true.
Yeah.
She can definitely contest. He's going to be able to hit just as hard as a Talon rifle or a sniper rifle shot from Kinessa as long as you're at that max range. And everything in between is probably going to be more consistent. And again, matchups go out the window sometimes. If Stigma hits that shot, he just communicates that to Poison, and Poison just kind of does that slow little helicopter land onto Strix's face. And
and the second he hits that shot, Strix can't really play offense anymore, right? Because he's like a 2-3 shot away from dying. And that just opens up the door. Let my shot open the door. A little bit different than Love, but I'm sure there won't be an issue when describing this type of performance. Poison and Stigma, these two came onto this team, made a huge impact, wanted to win, wanted to be effective at LAN. They're certainly looking like they're going to be.
Looking forward to meeting some of these new faces here from the minor league. Definitely put the work in.
Yep.
On the way up. Stigma, one of those newer faces here, and the big flank comes out from who you'd expect, Evie, but on her horse, as well as Ash on her horse. First blood.
Great stuff. Done. Yeah, I mean, very, very effective. Almost stands there and kind of looks down at his dead body. Says, yeah, I got game. You know, don't underestimate me. Toa definitely been a light in the dark for this team, finding some good success individually, if albeit the team not succeeding at that group level. But you got to find a way to do both here.
Nice mid-range shots connecting as well. I don't see the reason you need to do that.
Yeah.
Calm down now.
There you go. Maybe feeling himself a little too much. But I like the attempt. I like the attempt. Hard emphasis on the attempt there.
Yeah.
But hey, look, he's about to pop off one more time. Killing Stigma 2 times in a row might do that to a guy.
Backslide here. Gets some healing as well. Woo! Poison's come back to help. Mid-range shot doesn't connect. Poison takes hold of that opportunity. Pretty even on the objective, though. Hype unit 72%. Team Zenith 63 and climbing.
For me, that should be a win. I mean, because Zenith took one guy and he basically eliminated 2 out of that fight. And for a long enough time, I think. Stigma couldn't play, and then you also have Poison having to rotate back. This Drogo's playing under Cubbies. I don't know, man. This should be punished, but the Strix is the issue. Playtech has a hard time punishing here this aggressively, and Hype Unit going to capture, and that ends up being the difference. As we see one of our oldies but goodies there.
Yes, sir.
In the hallway.
Mr. Joe Rougeau. Who knows
what would Paladins be without him?
You have a lot to thank Joe Rougeau for.
Absolutely.
All types of code and systems, characters, features.
Just the OG, man.
Good to see him. Good to
Those
see
early
him.
play tests.
Yes, sir.
Those were
hell of a player
fun.
too.
He is a hell of a player.
Definitely one of the top tier play testers.
That's what made it good. We had some good players in this.
The OG playtest squad was a great one.
Yeah.
Always there too.
Little. That's right. The consistency of them was good times. That's why you got to appreciate them while they're happening.
Glory days. I feel like we need like a Breakfast Club style outro.
Exactly.
Joe Rougeau went on to program Realm Royale.
Don't you forget about me.
Great folks here making it all happen. Great stuff happening in game as well. Toa putting it together on Eevee in a couple of ways after a great Bomb King performance. I have to say he's been pretty rock solid all day long.
He certainly has. Great shots, man. I've really liked his play. Although the results are where he's still got to now turn the dial up, and he's got to find a way to be effective, but then on his team be effective for that unit and what they need. Individually shining is the first step, though. I mean, that's your first entrance into getting on a good team, and then it's about so much more than that when you have a group dynamic of 5 guys. You know, Nick, it was interesting, actually, as this is going on. Bitey is one of those guys that I saw play a little Splitgate tournament the other day, 2v2. I thought, man, this is perfect for him because he was able to really communicate so clearly with his one other buddy. But when you're talking with 5 guys, and there's 3 more personalities, maybe one's quiet, not listening to you, maybe one is really aggressive, wants another, it becomes a totally different beast to manage a team of 5 people.
Definitely.
So,
and in those situations, good communication is clear and concise.
Yeah.
In these group settings, if you're having to take 15 words to get your point across, it's not really great communication. Flooding comms can easily become a problem.
I mean, you'll miss some things. I mean, it's not like these guys don't have their volume up or anything, but sometimes comms will be right up there too, and you'll miss a cue that hey, Drogos is above you. I mean, we saw it happen with Toa on BK. Wait, where's the Drogos outside? Where? Oh, he's right there. Defense goes the way of Zenith, even though Hype Unit grabbed the objective here. Usually Khan dominates Splitstone. I've seen Phoenix do this again and again. It feels like a really unsolvable problem. He truly feels like an unsolvable problem on this map.
And that dunk right there is going to become a very, very potent part. Paladins evolves into the from the first round to the second round, especially once you have these one-hit KO type of ultimates. Now, the question is, what does Tay use it on? There's a big flank of the first round from Nini and from Toa, straight to his backline, really disrupted things. Do I use it there, or do I use it to get rid of this barrack? That's the question Tay has to answer.
And it's going to be tricky because the rocket boots, you could maybe kind of see when you want to. A lot of we've seen players kind of evolve and, okay, I want to expose myself so it looks like I'm available to be dunked, but there's no chance. That's it. And that's why Khan, I think, just wins Splitstone with a better team for sure.
Now, what you got to try and do here is, I think, not lose anything else. Toa goes down there. There's 2 other people committed in the back line, and that's where things get messy, because now you have a very staggered out situation. Sometimes the only way to really play against Overpower is just to let it happen.
Let it
cleanly,
happen. Yep.
And then just try again.
It's very true. I think we see less and less of that. It used to be like the thing. Like, that's how you play against it. Fnatic were just wonderful at that. They would just all jump off instantly. You know, that team no longer together. Tay reminding us of Theo, but he's finishing some big life things. Wonder if he'll come back.
Maybe someday.
One of these days.
1-for-1 here so far. 96 though. If Team Zenith lose this, or even lose hold of this for a second, you're gonna lose. Period. Khan getting close to another Overpower. Stigma finds Toa. Stigma's kind of killed almost everyone in this engagement. Nice shoulder bash there. Enlightenment is good.
Dude, these angles.
It's good,
oh
baby.
My God. He's on fire, man.
Yeah. Hell of a player. Unless it's a name change or something, this is a rookie to me. I've never seen this guy before on any other team, so unless he name changed from something that used to play, he's been one. Oh God, it's been one hell of an entrance, I think, into the minor leagues.
He shows up at LAN.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, Stigma, you're right, Nick.
Well, if there is a guy that has a stigma around him, I would think it's Stolzy.
It would be. It would be. But you know what? I really feel like you're. Wow, catches him. That was definitely by accident, just unlucky. But that one was purposeful.
Spamming, dude.
There it is.
Broken
You just
clock and all that.
When you spam in the right areas, man, it's just so satisfying.
Yeah. Getting those meaty connections. You know, you piss somebody off in a distant foreign land.
Yep. And they don't see it coming. I always think to myself, I don't know how they don't see it coming, but there's just so much that they're dealing with, and it's just a different visual plane. I mean, all the way up there.
They juke the first rocket. There's no way there could be a second rocket.
No! You've outsmarted me again, Sherlock. Get you next time.
And Inara looks vainly up at the wall that she'll never be able to pole vault over.
If only Summit 5 was brought to the party. That's where you wish.
I think she is actually running some level of Summit, because she pushed somebody down. But you know, you need Summit 10.
Summit 10
from the
You're
OB.
right. No, dude, he's got Summit 5.
You need the OB42 Daves. What was it? What patch was that? 64?
Oh my God.
OB64.
Man. OB64. The patch that shall not be named.
Yeah.
And that was where power kind of crept.
Summit 10, baby.
Summit 10. Oh man.
And Tremors 10. So you're just nonstop.
You're just
Toaster boy.
The most powerful one in the land. You know, it would be real good. I got to go watch some of my old videos or some old streams of that time just to see what I was playing. And what everyone was playing. I mean, what I was coming up against.
Yeah, there was a lot of broken stuff.
I remember playing Zen. I think I did like Zen as well. There's a hype unit.
10.
Yeah, right. Hideout 10. Dude, you know what I think? You know what I think came back at that time? Did that also introduce another legendary, another talent? Because I think that's when Yomi came.
Yeah.
I think that's when we got Yomi. Because Yomi like really made me like Zen again at a high level, and I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
I
there was
remember
all
Royal Subjects 10 made me want to just pull my hair out. Even because there was like Rovenick was playing a lot that day, and like
Rovenick.
I would literally just flame you if you were playing Royal Subjects 10 on the day that came out. I was flaming you. You were losing respect actively in my eyes. If you were doing that.
That was pretty crazy. That was crazy.
You couldn't miss.
No, you couldn't miss. You couldn't, and it hurt. It hurt a lot. I mean, that was just special. That was a special time. Thanks for the memories. Paladins.
Even if they weren't so good.
Paladins in a great spot right now, though. And so was Hype Unit to kind of talk about it. A good stun. I just don't think he has the damage, man. There's just too many moments Khan can get out of the trouble.
Oh, disrespect dunk. The Dragon Punch connects. Poison. Big balls on that fire spit to just
Fireballs.
And it gets the kill. Well done.
Big fireballs.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, and you know, yeah, Toa's just like, what do we do? Not much. I think it's been a good individual performance from him. Dread Serpent comes out preemptively. Not sure it gets anyone though. Maybe just buy some time. Rocket for Winter Blast.
Well, under the dome shield, hunkering down is all that's left to do here. There is ultimates. Team Zenith, they don't have the most impactful suite of ultimates, though, when it comes to getting that guaranteed value. They're struggling. Playtech, Strix maybe not paying off this time.
Yeah, it just feels like this is a problem. Drogos is a great snowballer in fights, and because especially he just gets high ground now over everyone. And great play from him. 3 games in a row.
Yeah,
3 games as Drogos. And we know what I like about this, too, is that people are going to maybe think he's bringing this out a lot at LAN. And if they are, okay, maybe you are giving some. But because Drogos hasn't really been a LAN factor, this might have just been a great pop-up performance to throw people off. Are we expecting that? Are we not? Should we prioritize it? And it still is going to open up some stuff from Poison. He's a tremendously skilled and variable player, so he's got a lot in the pocket.
Extremely short ex-PPL player, but you're starting to see, you know, he's a hell of a player. And that just goes to show how incredibly talented everyone else in the PPL is. Leon Drogos every single game for Hype Unit, though. It's working for him, and Team Zenith just didn't do anything that forced them to adjust.
And I think people also maybe deprioritizing Leon because of the changes that are obviously considered nerfs, and they are in some respects, but not to the overall impact of a character's potential like Leon, which she's had various potential in many different ways. And hitting your shots, that's the big difference for her. So Stigma's saying that, well, in my hands, she's still pretty darn good.
It's a great, you know, synergy combo to have away. You want the problem and the answer.
Absolutely.
On your side. And Stigma's, like we were saying, hell of a player. Out-damaged Poison in a lot of instances because Leon is just that consistent. They work well together. There was that fire spit that I love.
Beautiful.
Playtech did manage to get in there, get some damage, but again, it comes down to people on Splitstone just evolving on this map and learning how to play out of line of sight. After that 7-game set at the, not last World Championship, but the one before that, Nocturne's Na'Vi, when Akate kind of, you know, brought Strix in and Na'Vi beat it, that's like the pinnacle of both ends of the spectrum being shown how to play and how to defeat.
Well, Hype Unit go 10-2 here. Sanguine, if they lose a map, they will actually potentially be tied up here with Hype Unit as far as the head-to-head map differential. If they lose 2 or they lose a set, that would change things.
It's gonna. If they lose a set, it's gonna flip. If they win the set, they're gonna stay in first.
So we'll see how that ends up working out. Does not seem like it's going to be too much trouble for them, but we'll find out in just a moment. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with the final set of today's PML.
But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend